What's good, guys? This is Travis with Virginia Highlands Outdoors, and I'm bringing you a segment of creek fishing for Virginia's native trout. Here I'm fishing Big Tumbling Creek in the non-stock section. This is a few miles away from where they actually stock upstream, so you have a chance of catching natives or stock trout as well. Now this segment is part of one of my future videos where I fish 3 different body types of water: a river, a pond, and a creek, to get 3 different species. I had just come from catching a largemouth bass, so unfortunately I was still in bass mode, so I had to calm down a little bit and finesse it more. I was very limited on tackle. I had 1 pack of number 6 eagle claw hooks. I had a half a jar of old salmon eggs, which luckily was still good. But I also had a pack of trout lures that I bought probably when I was 15, 16 years old, and just for some reason I never used them. I found them recently and I was like, man, these are awesome. Why have I never threw these? So I've been carrying them with me in my tackle for the past few days, just looking for an opportunity to fish with them, and this is the perfect creek for them. It has some small minnows, some small grubs, some small jig heads, and some worms that's perfect for wacky rigging. So once I figure out that the Mike shrimp eggs are not going to work out the way I'd planned, I decided to go to the Pink Wacky worm here in just a few minutes. But we got a couple casts here. I'm just trying to check each and every pocket, each current break, each little cut in the water. Places that we used to call swift jacks, is just where it actually makes a J in the current, so it'll come down and hit a rock and then spin backwards and get a back current. So we always call that a swift jack, and that's usually where all the natives and the rainbows like to lay. They'll catch the bait coming down in a swirl, and they get a double take at it, and then that way they know if they're going to eat it or not. So check any current that looks like a J pattern and you'll catch fish. Alright, so here we decide to switch tackle. I'm going to throw on the neon pink worm. It's just a really small worm, and I set it up with a wacky rig. So we got a neon pink wacky worm, and we're going to try and catch us a little Southwest Virginia native trout. And obviously I didn't get my memo on I'm not bass fishing anymore, so let's try that again, see if he's still hungry. You notice I walked downstream earlier and come back to this spot after I got the first hit. That was to let this rest. Now you see there's a proper hook set for a native. You let it take the hook and you just apply a small amount of pressure and just pull it in. But unfortunately he falls off here, which is not the best of trout handling, but I get him right back in the water. That's really important when you're handling trout to wet your hands first and make sure they stay in the water. Native trout here out of Tumbling Creek, out of the unstocked section. Now isn't that amazing that he was able to just slide right under those leaves? You would have never known there was a fish there. He could have easily been stepped on, so I'll lift the leaves up to get him back out in the current, get him in the middle of the stream. We got our first little native trout of the year. That's awesome. See if we can get another one. Now that was my first native rainbow trout ever. I've caught brooks before, but never rainbows.